Hello everybody, I'm the Sonic Arrow, and I should be loading into the game right now, but it pauses when it's unfocused. Currently looking at OBS right now. But we are back with Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward. And we have been at this for 11 full hours. Or so it says. I mean, this is episode, what, 13? Yeah, 13. Been at this for 11 hours. Huh. Doesn't seem right, but I've been wrong before. So what kind of virus is Radical 6? This is where we were. I turned and followed Tenmyoji's gaze. There stood Alice, her hand wrapped tightly around the scalpel. Apparently she had been the one to take it away from Quark. The longer I looked at her, however, the more I wondered if she'd taken it to protect him, or for some other more sinister reason. She didn't seem stable. In fact, she looked far more like Quark had a moment ago than I was entirely comfortable with. Her eyes were flat and hollow. Her face was an emotionless mask. She was not well. Alice? Hey, are you feeling okay? Wait, Alice! We were all too stunned to even try to restrain her. So she spun around and leapt through the door. Damn it! I shook myself and took off after her. So I'm eating sunflower seeds. They're very tasty. Those few moments of hesitation had put too much distance and too many doors between us. Shit, which way did she go? Right? Left? We're still trying to decide when everyone else poured out of the infirmary. Yeah. I don't know which way she went. Gotcha. Ranch-flavored jumbo sunflower seeds. At Five's command, we scattered, filtering off into different doors. As I ran, I thought, where should I look for Alice? Perhaps the lounge would be a good bet. Nope, she went to, well, she probably went to the crew quarters. No one here, huh? Damn, where'd she go? Complaining wasn't going to help anything. I needed to go look somewhere else. treatment center. Shoot. Nothing in the treatment center either. Need to find her quicker. She's going to do something bad. If we hadn't stopped Quark. I need to hurry. I headed to the garden next. I'd only gone a few steps from the walkway through the grass when I stopped short. Alice. Huh? And she's alive? So she's just unconscious. What about a scalpel? Right. Alice was lighter than I'd expected, and fine, I managed to set off toward the infirmary at a brisk trot. How's she still getting away with that? Good. On our way back, Fi had gone off to retrieve the rest of the participants. 7 sets of eyes widened as Luna spoke. Wait, what about those pods in a treatment center? No. Can't we just stick them in those? I can't cure it. As he spoke, Tenmyoji moved over to Quark and lifted his small unconscious body off the bed. Quark shifted aside as Tenmyoji moved him, and something fell out of his pocket with a soft clink. Benton slowly picked it up. Is this medicine? Hold on. There's a name on the label here. Exceliv. Earlier when? He hit it? Oh, well, stood stunned if I moved. Stepping over to Quark, she quickly ran her hands through his clothes, stepped back with a frown and a small shake of her head. Do you think there might be some more back in the laboratory? What the hell is this? There's no way we're only going to save one of them. Do I have to spell it out? We're going to save them both. That's, needed to calm down. Think. There had to be some way to save both of them. It was there, I knew it. IG, immunoglobulin. IG, replicator? So it's like a copy machine. Any ideas? That's it! I've got it! The IG replicator in the laboratory! It's an immunoglobulin replication machine. I told you you had a nice antibody. You can copy immunoglobulin. Antibodies. Luna just said Accelavir is made from antibodies. That means we can make more Accelavir. Never could figure out what it did, though. I saw it when I was in the laboratory. No, Dio's wrong. I hadn't gone to the laboratory when I was looking for Alice. I didn't think I'd ever been to the laboratory. So how did I know about the IG replicator? We all nodded. Wait, can't leave them here all alone. Luna, do you think you could stay behind and look after them? Alright then, let's go. Not even a thank you to Luna? My god. What a dick. I would. Why couldn't he have said, thanks, you're being a lifesaver right now? Is she such a lifesaver? Can I suck on her when I'm out of candy? Ha ha ha! Sounded weird. That was weird. Who am I kidding? That's weird. Bonk. To horny jail with you, damn it. Whee! Laboratory. Laboratory. Right here. See? I think so. Calm down, alright? Don't rush me. I carefully lowered the small vial of Accelavir into the slot on the side of the machine. An empty vial already protruded from the other side. Presumably, that's where the duplicated Accelavir would go. Ready? When I push this button, it should. Right, and press. Kaboom! Did it work? Alright, let's get this thing back to the infirmary. I reached out and pulled both vials from the machine, intending to slip them deftly into my pocket. Ah, shit. Sorry, my hand slipped. Yeah, just one though. Come on, if we had broken it, we could have just made another copy. Before Tenmyoji could reply if I spoke. I was surprised to hear her voice coming from near my feet. I looked down and see her staring intently at something beneath the table. She held it up in one hand but didn't move her eyes. It's another bomb! She slid back from the table quickly and silently. The rest of us bent down to look. Number 2. A bomb? We were all out looking for Alice. It could have been any of us. Tenmyoji was still staring furiously at Kay when Clover spoke up. I turned in time to see her grab something from under the table. Put it into the infirmary computer! Do you think they dropped it accidentally? Let's take a look. Could I see it for a minute? Plucked the card out of her hand and looked around the room. Nothing. Shoot. No dice. I need to plug it into something that can read memory cards, but I don't see anything here. Come on, if I knew I'd be doing it. Who opened it? Right. So we'll go back to the infirmary, give them the Accelavir, then head to the Floor A warehouse. Her voice was quiet as she backed away from Alice and Quark. In her hand was the injection gun. She carefully removed the empty vial and placed it gently in the cabinet with the other one. While we were in the laboratory, Luna had moved Quark to a crude cot. They both looked peaceful as they slept. The madness I'd seen on their faces before was completely gone. Clover grinned. Agreed. I gave her a reassuring pat on the back. 5 minutes. Come on, let's go. The Floor A warehouse is waiting. But who? Oh, am I just stupid? Who opened the AB gates? Huh? Where's Tenmyoji? What? One-on-one, huh? How many BP do you guys have? This will be a tough one then. DOK, Phi, and Clover took off immediately, heading into different AB rooms. None of them are open! How did the timer go off? Counting from the left, Dio went to the room 3, K went to room 4, and Phi and Clover went to rooms 5 and 6, respectively. That left Luna and myself. What do you think about taking the one on the far left? She is so sweet. I like it. With that settled, we headed into AB room number 1. But wait! The game just broke the rules! I'm not crazy here. The game broke its own rules. The game just broke its own rules. None of them were open. If they had been open before, one of them would still be open until someone pressed start. I'm not crazy here, right? The timer starts when one gate opens. So the game just broke its own rules for the sake of conflict. God damn it! You're saying we should pick ally, right? Since Alice is going to default to that anyway. I know. It's not really fair to betray someone who isn't voting. Luna's face broke into a warm, happy smile. Not to be sappy, but it was like a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day. I grinned back at her before I knew what I was doing. For a minute, the Nona game didn't seem so scary. Ally. We gotta go ally first. Watch. Somehow she'll default to betray and I'll die. No, I stepped out of the AB room. Alright, let's go have a look at the results. What? How? What? Who? Huh? Tenmyoji, Dio, and Phi betray, an ally, but what? It wasn't possible. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, and looked again. She opened the door! No, that's not possible. How can Alice's vote be betray? This is a question I would never know the answer to. There's a sharp, quick pain in my wrist, barely even noticeable. I couldn't feel anything flowing in my veins, but I knew it was there. I get it. She opened the door, pressed start, picked betray, and hedged her bets. First would be the anesthetic Stoparil. I blinked and my vision started to blur. When I tried to think, it felt like my mind had been stuffed with cotton. My legs began to wobble, then gave out entirely as I crumpled to the floor. My eyelids felt like they were made of lead, but I forced them open. Everything was growing blurry, but I noticed that the door of the second AB room was open. No one had gone into that room. I'd watched them all, and yet there she stood, an apparition that couldn't possibly be real. Alice. The world was gradually going black, and my mouth refused to form words, but my head echoed with questions. How? Why? What was she doing there? Had she run in at the last moment after Luna and I entered our room? But even if she had, why choose betray? Then the darkness closed over my mind as well, and my questions were gone forever. Oh, that sucks. Huh? So this was a betrays all around. I mean, there's so much more here. Let's jump. Oh, wait, hold on. Is enough antiviral medication. Oh, no, I got that. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's fine. We've already got there. Proof it wasn't murder. This one we don't know. Until we unlock lock number 7. I looked that up, yes, but I did not look up how to unlock lock number 7. I still don't know where this one's going, but I know it's the whatever Clover and I found in the treatment room. I'm curious about this one. You know what? We're gonna jump real quick. See if I've actually unlocked it. Nope. Okay. Still no. Yeah. Okay. I do need to unlock lock number 7. So hold on just a damn minute. Alice was already in there. She pressed start and the door closed and oh. She was in there from the beginning. Huh? Even that doesn't make sense. So she was there picking Betray. So who was the person that passed out or something? Now it's open. Stepped out of the AB room. Why? There's nothing I could think of to say. Even I didn't really understand why I picked Betray instead. I almost felt unconscious, like some other part of my mind was making the decision. Perhaps I'd been possessed by some sort of evil spirit that moved my finger to the Betray button against my will. Right. Well, we should go see the results. The look in her eyes was more painful than any punch I'd ever taken. I turned away and almost ran toward the projector. Anything to get away from those eyes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Betray. Zeros across the board. What? It wasn't possible. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, and looked again. No, how can Alice's vote be Betray? It's not possible. Alice. She was standing inside the second room to the left. The room that should have been empty. Why? I always feel reeling. Where did she come from? As I was trying to form a stone, she began to move toward us. Excuse me. Around me, I heard a chorus of muted gasps. It seemed we were united in our surprise and confusion. Alice drew to a stop in front of me and glanced up at the display. Me, a coward? You got some balls saying that to me after you picked Betray. Why are you even here? So you showed up right after we got into the AB room? Yeah, well, you betrayed us in the other timeline, too, and I died. So thanks. You're full of shit. Self-defense, my ass. You chose betray because you wanted out. You had 6 BP. If I'd picked ally, you would have had 9. That's what you were trying to do, right? Are you serious? You would have killed me. Look, I only have 1 BP. You were this close to murdering me. Just admit it. You were planning to kill me so you could escape. Tell the truth. Fine, Dio. Turned to look at the results again. Before I'd only been looking at my own. I hadn't realized that there was only one word all across the roster: betray. Whatever trust we'd managed to build had fallen apart. Everyone was suspicious of everyone else. Had it been the bombs? Or had it been something else? Whatever the reason, if it kept up, we'd never manage to escape. We'd be trapped in a cycle of 0-point rounds for the rest of our lives. Something had to be done. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. Alright guys, pay attention. You've probably already figured this out, but we can't keep going like this. If we don't start being a little more trusting, we're never going to get out of here. We need to work together. I might as well have been talking to a wall. My apologies, Sigma. But I need to think on something for a bit. What is wrong with you? Are you going to connect or what? Do I seriously have to repair you, you stupid headphones? What is up with the Bluetooth 4.0 shit over here? Good, it's back. Let's hope. Let's properties. Headphones still good. I'd appreciate being left alone. Okay, so I gotta save and restart the game because it crapped out. Alright, now it works. I had this happen too. It tried to shift scenes at one point, and I had to play back to where I was. It was when Clover Cork and I went into the pod room, the treatment center, and we went back up the elevator, but because the headphones were taken off, that was my bad. Not this time. It just froze for whatever reason. So now when I saved, thank God I saved, it's fine, I guess. I don't know. Let's do this. It's saved at least. Okay. Dio. Etufai. Without another word, she turned and left the warehouse. U and K quickly followed suit. I watched them walk away, Clover practically jumping with delight to have Alice back. Damn. Before long, they reached the yellow door and disappeared beyond it. Then it was just me. Oh, and Luna. Right. You aren't going to leave too? Are you sure? I chose betray. My chest hurt, and when I blinked, I felt something hot and wet prick the corners of my eyes. Luna, I bit my lip. Before I could think of anything to say, a metallic rumble of the doors closing echoed through the warehouse. As many times as we want, huh? Okay, we've got quite a few scenes before anything happens. Why? Yeah, I remember. Let's see here. I'm a cyan pair. What about you? I wonder what the others are. We've got about 80 minutes until the next set of chromatic doors open. So, what should we do now? Yeah. Physically and emotionally. I really don't like how this is going. It won't matter how many times we repeat the AB game if nobody trusts anybody else. We'll never be able to get out of here. Yeah, but we've already got something like that. We all want to get out of here. Seems like pretty clear goal to me, but everybody chose betray, including me. An enemy? After coming back from the lab, I told her about the bomb while she gave Alice and Quark the Accelavir. Yeah, that might work. If we can figure out which one of us planted those bombs, then everyone else will work together against them. But how do we figure out who it is? Clues, huh? That's right! The memory card! I pulled it out of my pocket and held it out toward her. I told you, a memory card. It was under the bomb we found in the lab. I think whoever set the bomb dropped it. Yeah, I don't know what's on it, though. We couldn't find any kind of memory card reader. Huh? Then... Yes! Yes! Luna and I exploded into the infirmary, nearly running into Alice, Clover, and Tenmyoji. Quark was there as well, but of course, was there... Quark was there as well, of course, but he was just as we'd left him, asleep on the bed. I opened my mouth to retort, then thought better of it. If I really wanted people to start trusting each other, well, real change starts at home. As quickly as I could, I explained the second bomb and the memory card, and how we'd come into the infirmary in hopes we could discover the contents of the latter. Giggity! Right. Just as Luna had said, there was a small slot under the screen, exactly the right size to fit a memory card. Within moments, the screen was filled with what appeared to be random letters. This is probably going to be important. I'm going to write this down. Oh, hello there. Is there a word in there? What's this? Is that true? Is this some kind of code or something? Okay, I'm not gonna write it down, but Jesus. Oops, I pressed space. Looks like space is the X button. Am I gonna write it down? I think I'm writing it down. Yeah, I'm writing it down. So, rows 1, 3, and 5 are CQU, CQU, JHN, John, Medion, the new rock-type evolution. I hope there's a new evolution in Scarlet and Violet. Oh, I really want a new evolution. If there's a ghost-type evolution, I'm gonna be very upset, because they had a Zorua ghost-type. Basically, the people hated Zorua so much, and Zoroark, that they chased them out of the lands, and they froze to death in the snow, and came back as spirits. So that's why they're ghost-type in Legends Arceus. It's fucked up. Let's see, Arax... Dfm, DF Mio, VP. Voop. That's rows 1, 3, and 5. And then 2, 4, and 6 are Bjall, Wixip, Zzzvz, XSVZ, Ek, got Curdle, ED. Ek got curdled. 2, 4, and 6. I wonder if it's like truth has gone, truth is gone, truth is gone. Doesn't look random to me. Well, I see the word Eon. Tionarax. So what we get is this gibberish. Hey Alice, you haven't said anything for a while. What's up? Training? That's exactly the right thing to say, Tim Audrey. Alice sighed and stretched her neck from side to side. Yep. 6 rows and 22 letters? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, 22. Damn. I've got a ton of questions for you. Let me start with this one. What the heck does that thing say? What? Not much we can do then. We can get back to that code stuff later. I've got another question. Alice? Clover? Who the hell are you? Why do you know about this code? You told me your job was to eliminate enemies of the state, or something like that. Just what the hell kind of a job is that? I think it's time you told us what you do. Why not? That's idiotic. Of course I'm not... I'm not your enemy. I'm your ally. I'm your friend. I just want all of us to get out of here. Just please tell us. Please. We need to find out who did this so we can all escape. But we have too little information. We need your help. Fine. If you won't tell us about yourself, then just tell us about the Myrmidons. They seem to be our common enemy. What else do you know about them? Before I could blink, she'd leapt up and run out of the room. Hey, wait, Alice! Took off after her. Until you tell me what you know. Clover? Well, yeah. I wanted to hear it from you. That's a good question. Remember the crew quarters, or this garden? We've got paired up for 2 separate rounds. It means I've spent more time with you than anybody else here. Maybe that's it. I guess I'm just curious about you. She spun around to hide it, but I caught a blush of red on her cheeks. We walked down the path where it ended next to the pond. Oh, wait! Wrong choice of words, Sigma! I stayed silent. Alice sat down on the bench. We gazed at the smooth surface of the pond for several long minutes before she began to speak. What? Why? You mean in the AB game? Clover knows all about that. What do you mean? That's probably the Radical 6. What? Do what? What the hell, Alice? I'm not going to kill you. I don't even hate you. Okay, we're still on this novel section. Come on, calm down. No one's killing anyone. A single tear rolled down Alice's cheek. Then another, and another, leaving shining lines across her face. When I reached out, I saw her tense just slightly. Slowly, I brushed my thumb across her cheek and off, taking her tears with it. No! Gross! That's who you were after, right? The people who killed your dad? Did they have anything to do with the Myrmidons? Ha, come on. Sure. My lips are sealed. What crying? I don't remember any crying. Alice took a deep breath and began. Here we go. Here we go. Hold it. Do I cliffhang? No, I don't. My father is Egyptian, but my mother is French. Okay. They met while my mother was in Egypt on vacation and married shortly thereafter. Uh-huh. When I was 3, we all moved to the U.S. Uh-huh. My father was a scientist, and his field was cloning. He was recruited by an American lab, which was why we moved. Okay. Both of my parents had used English around me from the time I was born, so I didn't have any problems adapting to life in the U.S. By my 9th birthday, we'd been there for 6 years. That was when it happened. In the middle of the day, my mother showed up at school. Her eyes were red and puffy, but she didn't say anything to me on the drive home. Wait a minute, do I recognize that person? Do I know that person? When we arrived, there were several policemen there to meet us. My father had always been a very punctual man, and when dinner time came and went with no sign of him, even I began to realize something terrible had happened. Okay, so that could be Lotus or one of her daughters. It wasn't until several years later... No, wait, Lotus isn't French. Shit. It wasn't until several years later that I finally learned the truth. My father's lab had been attacked by terrorists and he had been kidnapped. Oh. For the rest of my childhood, my mother raised me by herself. I didn't realize it then, but it must have been incredibly difficult for her, as a single mother alone in a country where any relatives were a transatlantic flight away. She did her best not to let me see it, but ever so often when she thought she was alone, the mask would fall away, and every line of her face I could see exhaustion and loneliness. As much as I missed my father, it was those moments that made me wish more than anything that he'd never been taken. Fortunately, I was an excellent student and did especially well in math. I earned a full-ride scholarship straight out of high school, spent the next several years studying. After graduation, I took a job with the Department of Defense, hoping that they might have the resources to help me look for my father. I was immediately assigned to the Special Office of Internal Security, SOIS! Their purpose is to investigate and sometimes deal with terrorist organizations and other serious threats to the state. I could tell my mother wasn't happy about my decision, but she chose to remain silent about it. Eventually, I learned that the terrorist organization that had taken my father was none other than the Myrmidons, although at the time that name didn't mean anything to me. They were suspected of human cloning. Specifically, it was thought that they had been using cloning techniques to copy their most useful members and expand their ranks. The Myrmidons apparently believed they could use cloning to create a new race of humans. Now, at last, I knew the reason for my father's abduction. The commander of the Myrmidons is a man named Left. We know his name and his gender, but not his appearance or his age. The Myrmidons are closely associated with a cult known as Free the Soul. We believe that Free the Soul provides their funding, but trying to pin any kind of misdeeds on the cult's leader, a man named Brother, is like trying to nail Jello to a wall. Oh, that makes sense. Brother is supposed to be fairly advanced in years, and rumors say he's so old he can't even get out of bed. Unfortunately, his mind seems to be as sharp as ever. At that point, I hit a wall. I knew the Myrmidons had been behind my father's kidnapping, but that was all I could learn about them. Then one day, I got a tip that some of them were hiding in a building in the Nevada desert. I headed out immediately. On the way there, my car had some engine trouble and stalled out. I was trying to decide what to do when an SUV appeared out of nowhere. I'll give you one guess who was behind the steering wheel. Clover. That was the first time we met. There were 4 other people in the car with her, and when I asked them what they were doing, I got what it was just about the last answer I'd expected. They told me they'd been locked up inside the very building I'd been on my way to investigate, and that they were currently in pursuit of the people who had kidnapped them in the first place. My priorities shifted very quickly. After a short discussion, I convinced them to allow me to come along. My hope was to find the people they were chasing, who I was certain were Myrmidons. In the end, however, we were unable to track them down. In fact, I still don't know where they might have gone. Eventually, I took Clover and her companions to Soy's headquarters. We decided that involving the police would only complicate things. After some questioning, it was determined that the people who had instigated this particular event were not connected to the Myrmidons. We did, however, discover that the mysterious disappearance and subsequent reappearance of several children 9 years prior, was connected to Free the Soul. There was also a 6th person in the SUV, although they weren't riding in it per se. A middle-aged man, who I'll just call H for now, Hongo, had been bound and placed in the trunk. According to the other 4, he had been behind the disappearance of the children 9 years earlier. We also learned that his pharmaceutical company, a major player on the world stage, was effectively controlled by Free the Soul. Or specifically, I suppose, H was a member of Free the Soul and very committed to their cause. So why had he kidnapped all those children? Apparently it had been part of an experiment designed to test the ability of certain people to access what's called the morphogenetic field. I don't imagine you've ever heard of it before, so I'll try to give you a quick rundown. Simply put, these people can access a sort of field that allows their consciousness to resonate with the consciousnesses of certain other people. To be honest, it might be simpler to just call it telepathy. The Sois had heard of this particular ability before, and had actually used it in a number of investigations, so I wasn't surprised to learn of its existence. I was shocked, however, to learn that these experiments had been carried out by a member of Free the Soul. If that was the case, then Brother must have known about it. The thought of him discovering a way to control and harness that power was terrifying. It wasn't too long after the incident in Nevada that another tip about the Myrmidons... Shit, Nevada! It's Nevada, not Nevada! Shit, it's Nevada! That another tip about the Myrmidons crossed my desk. This time, it claimed that the Myrmidons intended to launch a large-scale biological terrorist attack. It's Nevada, okay? All of you saying, no, actually, it's called Nevada. No, it's not. Ask the people who live there. The people that live there get to make the name. It's called Nevada. My bosses decided that we needed more agents to deal with the threat of that magnitude, and Clover was recruited. Because she'd been a test subject in H's experiment, we knew she had the ability to access the morphogenetic field, and we wanted to put that ability to use. After several months of training, she was sent on her first mission. She would be tasked with the infiltration and investigation of a Myrmidon cloning lab. I was assigned to be her commanding officer. I hope that our investigations might also give me a lead on my father's whereabouts. At last I had a chance to find out what happened to him. I wouldn't let that chance pass me by. Perhaps that was what kept me from noticing the truth. The whole operation was a trap. The lab was fake and Clover was captured almost immediately. I got there as fast as I could, but when I arrived, the building was only an empty shell. All of the conspirators who had pretended to be researchers and the like had already fled. I searched frantically for Clover until at last in a basement room I found her. She had been tied to a chair, but on the floor next to her was another body. It was my father. He looked as if he'd just been dumped there, and when I got to him, his body was already cold. He was covered in dark, ugly bruises. It wasn't until later I learned he'd died from ruptured organs and internal bleeding. They'd beaten him to death. As soon as Clover had been captured, a Myrmidon in a mask had come to visit her. He said that unless she wanted to end up like my father, she would leave them alone and tell her masters at the Sois to do likewise. In retrospect, they must have known who I was and who my father was. That was why they killed him. Perhaps they thought they were sending a message to me, or that once he was gone, I'd lose my reason for chasing them. They were very, very wrong. I took Clover with me and left. I tried to console myself with the fact that I had at least been able to save her. Sometime later, I received a call from the coroner. He told me there was something I needed to see. There in the morgue was my father, cold and pale on a steel table. I could barely stand to look at him, but the coroner insisted. On his arm, there were 2 rows of numbers comprised of 8s and 9s. It took me a moment to recognize my father's handwriting. He'd carved them into his own skin. On his chest was another message, but they were letters this time, not numbers. Not many, just enough to make a short sentence. I love you, Alice. No! I broke down crying right there in the morgue. They were the first tears I'd shed since the operation had started, and there was no stopping them. There would be no forgiveness, not for the monsters who put my father through this. They destroyed my family. I would make them pay even if I had to die to do it. That night I made a promise to myself. I would avenge my father. It didn't take long to figure out that the numbers he'd written down were latitude and longitude. They pointed to a chemical factory that had been disguised as an abandoned building. Further investigation revealed that it was the mother lode we'd been looking for, the headquarters of the Myrmidons. I think my father must have known how things would turn out. Knowing he was going to die, he'd written the directions to our enemy's fortress on his own body. He'd sacrificed too much for me to waste this opportunity with recklessness. This time our operation would succeed. This time I wouldn't let my excitement put Clover or any of my other agents in danger. So we took our time, we gathered information, we did our research, and we planned. Finally, we were ready. December 25th, 2028 was going to be the day we finally set foot inside the Myrmidon stronghold. But then on the 22nd, only 3 days before the operation was scheduled to begin, a man in a gas mask appeared. And we know the rest. So you inhaled that gas, passed out, and woke up here in the AB room. Yeah, thanks. She gave me a sad sort of smile and stood up. Not yet. Your story explained a lot, but there's still one big question. Who here is a Myrmidon? One of us planted the bombs. And based off the code we found, it's pretty clear that person is a Myrmidon, right? And I agree that we need to figure out who they are. Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Do you have any clues? How can we do that? What's a key? Wait, a long string of numbers? Could that be... Ah. To be continued. We gotta figure out what that string of numbers is. And so that's another lock on the story. Now, if I could open the memo, I could show you what I'm talking about. Let's just save here, and what's the long string of numbers? So we're missing 3 and 5. Wait, 3? Is number 4 down here or something? Well, we could head over to here when we chose Betray. We picked Ally here, but Betray here. Ugh. Oh, wait, hold on. This was number 4. Okay. Okay, so we passed that one. If I could open the damn memo, I could explain what I'm thinking. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna hop up to here. We're gonna go here next time, but... Okay, here we go. So, surprise Bulbasaur. Now, imagine you have a pool of information here. I'm just going through the same exact description June gave us in 999. You have a pool of info here. Blah, 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 blah. 911 was an inside job. No, it was not. So, you have the river that forks. And when it forks, information can go one of two ways. This is just the morphogenetic field. Well, no, it's not. Okay, this is just the time flow. So you have split A and split B. So let's say this is where we allied with Alice, and this is where we betrayed Alice. Or Tenmyoji, whoever. So, information goes and then splits off. And then if it goes this way, side B will never see it. However, the morphogenetic field allows the information to go backwards and flip this way. So, the way we're figuring this out, the way I think we figure this out, is we have to go and find the key over here, and then send it back over here. Unless we don't, and we get it from anywhere over here. So here's another end. Here's an end. And then here's another end, and then we keep going. We have another lock here. I'm guessing. Okay, but we still have to figure it out. But basically, this whole no crossy garbage was what Hongo was trying to figure out how to get around. He was gonna use his morphogenetic field powers to control the minds of other people, or look into the minds of other people, and his excuse was he wanted to see faces. He wanted to be able to see people's faces, because he had prosopagnosia, which means, basically, you have everybody with their distinct features. Maybe they have hair and a ponytail. Maybe they have an earring. But their face just looks... and that's it. Or, if you believe Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice, then they just have blank faces. I'm more inclined to believe every face looks like this. So, in order to tell them apart, you tell who has the red streak through their hair. Or they wear a blue lipstick. Or they have a scar across their left eye. Something. You just figure out shortcuts to remember who they are. But that's it. That's all I'm going with. Ace or Hongo or H had prosopagnosia. That's what he saw, maybe. Unless they were just blanks. And that's how we called him out on murdering Snake. Or Lightfield, who is older brother to Cloverfield. Yeah, I googled their names. Sue me. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a lot of fun, and I will come back immediately with another episode, despite needing to be to bed on time. But it's only 9:45. Who cares? I don't. So I will see you in just a second. Bye-bye!